What's going on, guys? It's Adam P, and welcome back. We have more good news at Newcastle United, and the first one being we are not signing Dominic Calvert-Lewin. I can just take the sweat off my head after seeing this one today. Leeds United are going to sign Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and to be fair, for Leeds, that is a good sign, especially a squad depth, a player there that's going to hopefully, in their point of view, try and keep them up in the Premier League. But if you ever watch I'm a Celebrity, by the way, and Ant and Dick have got the cards at the end and they're going for each contestant. Manchester United, it's not you. Newcastle United, it's not you. Leeds United, it might be you. And I'm just glad to start this video off that we are not signing Dominic Calvert-Lewin, because I have been taught inside information that he was on the transfer list, far down the list. But if Newcastle was struggling bringing strikers in, he was on the list. So I'm happy about that. Now, first off, if you guys are new around here, make sure you get down there, hit that subscribe button, smash the like button if you enjoy the content. 40% of you are already on the journey, so join those who are on that journey. Don't miss out on any upcoming videos, because there's going to be plenty of content coming out from this football club. A lot of active transfer sagas, and I want to start off with Yoane Wissa. And since we are going to be talking about Alexander Isak in a bit, again, Liverpool fans, I am not a hypocrite. I don't like what Wissa's doing. I don't like what Alexander Isak's doing. But Wissa is not as bad as Isak. Now, Wissa does have some assurances from Brentford. He was basically told he was going to leave this summer, whereas Isak, regardless of what some reports have claimed, still was not told he was going to leave this summer. You see, like Orstein saying now that Isak's been wanting to leave for such a large period of time. The same Orstein, by the way, at the start of the transfer window, who said that he's not going anywhere this summer. So these journalists clearly get taught stuff from the agent and clearly just talk out their backside sometimes, because, yeah, do not take what social media has to say. But with regard to Yoane Wissa, when you look at him now, he is training separately with the players who will not be part of the first team, which tells you he's going out the door. There's a massive domino effect where strikers going to Brentford, Wissa's going to Newcastle. Isak is not part of this domino effect. A lot of Liverpool fans claiming, well, Wissa joins Newcastle, we're getting Isak. That is completely separate to the situation. It does not correlate. This is our Callum Wilson replacement, and it's always important to say that, because one striker's out so far, we haven't replaced him. And of course, with the possibility of both your strikers going this summer, we haven't signed one striker yet. So Wissa will replace Callum Wilson. Massive question marks after that. But for the signing, it looks like things are going to accelerate this week. And speaking of things accelerating, according to Jacob Ramsey, according to some reports, have been a done deal and is a player that will be joining Newcastle United this summer. Some of the local journalists have said it. Some of the journalists aren't so local have said it. Keith Downey is still a bit hesitant. He said that, well, while it is getting close, it's still a little bit off from being 100% done. So it depends on who you believe in. But I'm fairly confident that we are going to get this player in. A lot of sources were confident earlier. Big sources as well have been able to say that this is a deal that is going to happen. So we'll see what happens over the next day or so. Now, as for Alexander Isak, there's been not much news today. Not much news at all. In fact, when you look at the news regarding Isak, quiet. Nothing. And especially after how hectic and how noisy things were yesterday, it's all from him. It's all from the agent. That's where the news is coming from, and that's where the journalists are getting their stuff from. And when you look at certain individuals talk about this, for example, Gary Neville here, Isak should be angry with his agent. It's unsavoury. I feel sorry for Eddie Howe. Isak wants to win trophies and is agitating for a move because he's got one career. I can see both sides, and at 25 years old, he has 5 or 6 good years left. It looks like the guy is down in tools and saying he's not playing, and I don't think that is right. Newcastle has to stand strong here. If you're the club, it sends the wrong message to sell after what has happened. I think they have to keep him for another year because the president will be dangerous for Newcastle. That is exactly what I think, by the way. Now, you have to look at it in our point of view. For us to replace Isak now, and bearing in mind you're not replacing Isak because, of course, he is one of the world's best strikers. If Newcastle seriously was now, they've done 70, 80 or even 90 million pounds into a striker after losing out on Benjamin Sesko, you're far down that transfer list. So for Newcastle to spend serious money on a player we essentially don't want is not healthy for us long term, especially for a club that we know under PSR has to sign the right players. So if there's no option out there, Newcastle either lets Isak go for the maximum amount of money now, or they keep a hold of him and send a message to the footballing world. And I still stand by that. You can't let him go to Liverpool, especially not for the price tag we've stated at £150 million. If you're talking £120 million, I actually think it's better for Newcastle to really send a message to seriously get the agent and the player under control. He can say he wants to leave all he wants. He hasn't went about it the correct way. And I stand by that. Liverpool fans, come on this video. You came with my video earlier on today about Jacob Ramsey. That's got nothing to do with Alexander Isak. And still Liverpool fans are popping out my videos and talking about this transfer saga. Just stop with it. Because Newcastle has to make a message here. We have to stay strong. And I'm not going to put up, and we're not going to put up with this Isak crap. The players clearly looking for a way out. And this is from Jamie Carragher, by the way, to give you a different example. Transfers happen every summer, but I don't think you should ever go toxic or nuclear when you refuse to play or train. This may be what forces the move in the end, so who am I to say it's wrong? But I just don't like it. They're paying his wages. They've been great at you. You've been great for them. Just keep training, keep playing, and hope your deal gets done. That's Jamie Carragher, by the way. That's not me. That's not the Newcastle United representatives. That's one of your club legends saying that Isak's in the wrong. The entire footballing world knows this. It's no longer a Newcastle and Liverpool thing. I've made this message clear over the past couple of days. People are seeing Isak and his agent for what they are. They're seeing through this crap, and they're seeing two individuals that are doing everything to properly turn their backs on Newcastle now. 6-goal Isak, by the way. 6 goals at Real Sociedad in his final season before moving to Newcastle. It was us who took the gamble on him. It was us who pumped that money into him. And it was us that nurtured him and made him into the player that he is. Yes, he's a world-class player. I'm sure at a different football club he'd be able to develop. But Eddie Howe has had this guy's back, and he continues to have this guy's back. And what has him and his agent done about it? They've been leaking stories to the media, making stories up, and just telling the media everything to try and force this Liverpool approach. And Liverpool, a team today that's looking to sign 2 centre-halves. I mean, they're getting the players they need in. Alexander Isak is not an essential sign for them, and I stand by. He's a luxury signing. Liverpool, in my opinion, wins the Premier League title now without Isak. And of course, Isak will be that present that would almost hand the title over at Liverpool. But we can't allow that. We can't allow behaviour like this, and I'm going to stand by it. And I'm sick of Liverpool fans coming on these videos and saying, well, Isak's in the right. No, he is not. Stop with the bias. He's not in the right at all. If Mohamed Salah did this at Liverpool now and he forced to move somewhere else, would you guys like that after the legacy he's had at Liverpool? Of course he wouldn't. And that's the exact same for us. And I get it, Isak's 25, and I get it, Isak wants to move on to Liverpool and wants to achieve great things. He has not went about it the right way. And it could have happened at the start of the transfer window, and it didn't. Why did it not happen at the start of the transfer window? And I'm fully believing now that once this Liverpool approach came in a couple of weeks ago, that's been the head turner. That's been the ammunition that the agent has used now to try and get Isak out of this dream move. Agent, of course, clearly wants money, and this is a dodgy agent, by the way, which media reports are now starting to report on. This is an agent that's clearly been doing illegal activities in the past, and everyone can see through this. Everyone can say that the agent is the one that's pushing this. Everyone can say that the agent is the one that is wanting Liverpool to come into Newcastle. He's the one that's going against our football club, and he's the one that's seriously unsettling this football club, which could damage us in the league this season. It's already damaged us across the summer. So the more you look at this transfer saga, it's always one that Newcastle still has control on. He is our player, regardless of how little control it may seem like on social media we have. He's our player. We can have him in the reserves. We can have him in the under-21s, and it's not going to happen. Isak, I'm telling you now, the transfer window closes tomorrow. Alexander Isak will play for Newcastle United again. There is no way he is not going to play for this football club if the window closes. What happens if the window closes? He'll get a pay rise and you get a release clause. That's what happens. And of course, he may not give 100% when he plays, and that's a different problem we may have down the line. There is no way he is not playing for this football club if that transfer window closes. And he has to learn his lesson. The agent has to learn his lesson. And surely they're seeing social media. Surely they are seeing what's happening out there. Surely they must see that they're in the wrong. And surely they must be getting desperate and must be realising, well, hang on, Liverpool might actually not sign me this summer. Surely at some point they realise they've done something wrong, and Newcastle then can grab a hand of the situation and be able to just settle the player down and to sort this out. We can speak about Isak, we can talk about Isak all we want. The player must know he's in the wrong. The player must know he's not doing the correct thing. and he must have a change in his mindset at some point because, well, Liverpool can just wait. Liverpool don't need to go for him now. They can wait 12 months. They don't need to desperately try and get Isak this summer. They can sign someone else if they even wanted to. So Isak has to understand and read the situation. He's in the wrong. He's probably done Newcastle United over. So why are we going to help him go to Liverpool? Why are we going to set him off to Liverpool unless the money is there? We're not going to do it. We're not going to be nice to the guy. We're not going to go, well, oh, fair enough. He's like, you want to go? Let's just sort it out now. Of course we aren't. Your behaviour has completely done Newcastle in. We can't even replace him. There's not even a player out there we're going to say. What, are we going to get Nicholas Jackson to replace this guy and have two players in African Cup of Nations? Of course we aren't. We're not going to get Nicholas Jackson. We're not going to get the Porto striker. He's celebrating and telling the Porto fans his last game after scoring, I'm staying here. That's what he said to his own supporters. So he's not going to go. And when you look at our options going to come in, not many left unless you want to sign Larson from Wolves. You're talking £70 million. And while he scored 14 goals last season, a massive gamble in someone that's had one good Premier League season. We've got to try and calm this guy down. We've got to try and keep Isak one more season. And yes, I want to sell him. Of course I do. I'll be very vocal in us selling him. But I don't see a realistic scenario now when Newcastle sells his player, gets a good chunk of money in. We're not going to get £150 million now. So realistically, Newcastle's not going to get the transfer fee we wanted. We're not going to get the replacement we wanted. And this player is going to go to a different Premier League club that is probably going to score against us this season. So when you look at this situation itself, it is better for Newcastle to wait this out. It's better for us to try and control him. You can see he's not going to play for Newcastle again all he wants. I'm telling you now, that transfer window closes, he's playing for black and white. There's no way him and his agent, after the window is closed, will continue to play this crap. Once that window closes, they will be bricking it. They will seriously brick it because they knew they've blown the opportunity and they know he's not going anywhere for 12 more months. So we'll see what happens because it's still going to go either way, of course it is. But I'm telling you, that window closes, they're in trouble. They're in real trouble. And this actor playing now, they're not going to keep doing it after that transfer window closes. World Cup squad next season. Of course, Isak will continue to want that Liverpool move. So he's going to do everything to get that move next summer. They'll put a release clause in there, Newcastle, and they'll control the situation once the transfer window closes. But of course, 3 weeks left to go. It's still going to go all the way. And he's still going to do everything to get this Liverpool move. But it's not as clear on day as you think. I think Newcastle has control, and I continue to say this now. He can play this crap all he wants. Newcastle does have control of this situation. I fully stand by it. But yeah, hope you guys enjoy watching. Let me know your opinions down below. Of course, the big news on Wissa. He's the one, especially training separately now. It looks like it's going to happen. And the Isak saga. I mean, you even got Liverpool legends calling it out for what it is. And what does that tell you guys? So, Liverpool fan, you can continue this crap all you want. You know he's in the wrong. And I'm not having this.